You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
It's time for the DragonCon Report, your go-to show for both newbies and seasoned pros gearing up for the annual Downtown Atlanta Convention, with interviews, expert advice, and all the latest updates straight from the dragon's mouth and fans themselves. Stay tuned, you might just uncover something unexpected.
Howdy, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the 2026 DragonCon Report. I'm Mike Gordon. Valentine's Day may be over, but love is still in the air. So let's show some to our crew, Jen and Channing.
Hello, everybody.
What do you got there, Channing?
You know, love is in the air, and my wife and I didn't meet at DragonCon, but I felt the need to represent for couples everywhere. So yes, these are my Valentine's Day loving gnomes.
Loving gnomes.
Loving gnomes, yes.
Nice.
I'm sure chat will come up with some creative names for them.
Awesome. Well, this is going to be a great show. I hope it's warm where you are. I know in a lot of the country, as we're recording this, got hit with another blast of cold and snow. Hence the I even got some on my fez here.
Yeah, no, that's no good. Yes, you can keep the winter weather and blizzards. We'll deal without those. We'll keep the heat and humidity.
I'm trying to keep perspective and not be angry that it's 60. Because I'm cold when it hits 72. But
Ooh, yeah,
Girl, same.
I certainly definitely have lowered my tolerance since I've lived in the South, so I understand that completely. So this is going to be great. We're going to be joined by some folks who made some substantial love connections at the con we love so much ourselves. So we're going to get right to it. We're a proud member of the ESO Network. On the esonetwork.com page, there's a direct link to our TeePublic store, all filled with all kinds of cool swag, including a very cool design for the DragonCon Report podcast. This ESO Network also has a Patreon page where supporters can access our exclusive reading of this month's DragonCon guest announcements. Yes, we're still recovering from the last one because it was really long. So, yeah, we're ready to tackle some more this week as well. So you can enjoy those at our patrons. So thank you, patrons, for all your support. That's just a little thing that we do to help to say thank you, to say that we appreciate you. In addition to all the video streams on Facebook and YouTube that you're watching now, the audio version of our show is still available. All the usual places you can always access our past episodes over the last 10 years at DragonConReport.com. And however you access our show, please like, subscribe, and share. We do really, really appreciate it. And you can leave us direct feedback, comment on the show. You can email us at feedback@DragonConReport.com or reach out to us via Facebook and Instagram. Is that the only places that we're at now? Just those two? On social media?
YouTube.
And YouTube. Well, of course, yes, YouTube as well, where you can see the stream. But if you want to leave us direct feedback, I think those are the only two officially that we're on right now, although I think some privately we're on some others too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a Blue Sky presence, but I don't think any of us ever remember to check there.
Yeah, I have a Blue Sky account personally, but I don't think we created one yet for this podcast. So maybe we should look into that. I don't know.
Yes.
Let's get started with some news and notes. And still, it's early yet, so there's not a ton of news. Of course, DragonCon is happening this year, September 3rd through September 7th. 5-day memberships are still $150. And all the applications, guests, attending artists, attending pros, performers, they're all still open. So you still have a chance to participate. And one thing that they announced pretty recently is that the parade registration is now sign up. The sign up form is open as well. You do not have to be part of a group to sign up for the parade. Anyone can march, just even as a solo act. They'll decide what section of the parade to put you in. if they accept your application. And you must have a Saturday badge for DragonCon, at least Saturday badge to march. You can either get a Saturday badge or multi-day badge. You cannot march without a DragonCon badge first and foremost, so make sure you get that taken care of, and a parade wristband as well. So you need one of those that you'll pick up either the Thursday or Friday from the parade table at DragonCon itself. So I believe that's also in registration in the Cortland Grand as well. So so the form is available, so sign up. Last year it went longer than I thought it would before it filled up.
But it usually goes.
Yeah. So, but it is I've heard from a lot of people it is a cool experience. I have never experienced walking in the
as someone who's walked in it a couple of times now, it's fun, and it honestly goes by a lot quicker than you think when you're in it. So yeah, but no, it's a lot of fun, and just to see kids on the side of the road freaking out when they see you in your cosplay or somebody recognize you, it is a wonderful feeling.
It is huge. It does get a lot of people out. I mean, not just the people who are at DragonCon, but the whole city comes out. Like a lot. It's just really a huge event. I don't know how many people they usually get for watching that, but it's huge, and they show it on TV as well.
Right.
And speaking of wonderful feelings, the DragonCon superheroes are expecting more than 300 orders and over 1,000 pounds of food and supplies for their survival kits for Hope Atlanta Superheroes event. They are out of space to store much else, so they're not able to add anything else to the Amazon wish list at this time. But more information and the registration link for the kit building event is on the DragonCon Superheroes page. That's under the Participate section on the DragonCon website. It'll be up in the next few weeks, bringing all the Christmas and superhero spirit to DragonCon 2026 for the Atlanta Radio Theater Company's 42nd year anniversary.
Yeah, that's sorry, I meant to put that as 2 items.
Well, you made it the same color.
I did make it the same color in the notes. So sorry about that.
So now I have to put a drink on me.
Oh.
Look, it won't be just you for long, I'm sure. I refuse to do this in a fake British accent, but I originally did think. So for all my Anglophiles and British pop culture junkies, the Brit Track is accepting panel suggestions via a form in their Facebook group. So if you're a fan of anything from Doctor Who to James Bond and any and all things in between, go to the Brit Track Facebook group and look for their form and help them build the DragonCon 2026 schedule. We always say this is a fan-run event, and here's a chance for fans to have some input. So everybody go and have a jolly good time.
And I wonder if they get like just inundated with submissions for Star Trek panels.
just out of pure spite.
I mean, that war still is continuing, right? Like
it's still on.
Yes.
And now you've given me an idea. As long as they're located across from each other, I'm pretty sure it'll keep going.
I don't know. Maybe we should look into that further. See if we can get some peace talks going on between those two groups.
Now, what fun would that be?
I also am aware, I believe of I can't think of them right now, but of a few other tracks that are also putting out calls for programming. So if you're interested in participating, even if you're not going to be a guest, an official guest, or attendee, in a guest or attending pro, you can still participating in panels, and you can do that just by checking out whichever track is the most appealing to you or the most appropriate for your panel idea, and reach out to them. Even if they don't have an official form, they usually have some way to contact them, so you can bring it up. So most of the track directors that we know, I think almost all, like I can't even think of one that is resistant to more ideas. Now, they do tend to get overwhelmed with panel ideas, so sometimes it's hard to narrow them down, but they're always open to new things.
Yeah, and the digital media track is open for panel submissions, I think, till the end of March.
Yeah, the earlier you get them in, the better.
The better. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, because they are starting. as odd as it may sound, they are starting to program now.
and
they have to, yeah.
so yeah, for digital media, that's on they have a Discord, and yeah, pretty alt history track I think might have opened as well. So there's
I think that's another one that I saw. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, with those, yeah. So like I said, check out those groups, contact them directly, and they're all open to submission. So get them in now.
Yes.
And I think that's it for news items that I have. Not still very early in terms of they are announcing guests, mostly attending pros, but we'll save that information for our patrons. You can look that up and hear how much we are having fun with those announcements. We'll say fun. All right, so we'll take a quick break for those listening, and we'll be back with some love talk.
Oh yeah.
That sounded so wrong. Okay. Well, we have maybe one, it might be up there tying our largest lineup of guests this evening. So very excited to talk to couples who met at DragonCon. Sorry, I just jumped all over your usual intro there,
you're
Mike.
Absolutely right. It is part of our largest gathering of folks, which is awesome. We got a great response when we had made the call out for this. And
so let's just start adding everybody to
absolutely.
stage here.
And they're not all DJs.
No, they're not.
Did we know of?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's the largest gathering of non-DJs I think we've had on the show.
So, welcome.
You know what I do in my spare time.
Yeah. But for those who are listening to the audio version, please welcome to the DragonCon report Tyra, Lauren, and Nikki, Christy, and Justin, and Josh.
Awesome. So great to have you guys here. For most of you are new to the show, so welcome. And Tyra, welcome back to the show. We always love having you on too at this time to talk about something a little bit more personal. And I know that we talked to you before about your first DragonCon experience, whatever, but real short, just like what introduced you? When was your first DragonCon?
Oh, me? How long has DragonCon been going on? 40? Is this our 40th year?
This will be the 40th one this year.
Yeah.
So year 39 or 38 is when I
Wow.
started. So actually, somebody who used to do the DragonCon report with you guys before he passed on, Darren actually introduced me to DragonCon years and years and years ago. And I just kept going, and I kept thinking that Spirit will put a man for me either at DragonCon or a Celtic music concert. And kept going for years. So my first experience was because of Darren.
Wow. Yeah, we still miss him a lot. We just came up on an anniversary with him, and oh man.
I know, it just hurts.
Absolutely. But his spirit lives on, especially he would have loved this show. Absolutely.
Yes.
So now we'll move on with Lauren and Nikki. Let's talk about your first experience at DragonCon. I take it, was it separate?
Yes, I started going to DragonCon in 1999.
1999. Awesome.
2011.
Okay. Wow. So yeah, big jump there. What attracted you to going to DragonCon?
I stayed in Atlanta with my dad, mostly over the summers, and it was around DragonCon then when I had come to visit him, and he was like, "Oh, you're into all the geeky stuff. Let's go over here."
Aw.
Supportive. I like it.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Did
So had
anime
you heard
cons?
about it beforehand?
No. I was, let's see, if it was 99, I think I was 14 at the time. I had absolutely no clue conventions existed.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know they were a thing you could do. And so I came to DragonCon, and then I went to AWA, and then MTAC, and then started my own convention back in Alabama.
Yeah, wow, that's incredible. Yeah, I mean, to have your first experience at a con at DragonCon does seem like it's overwhelming, and it sets like a huge I mean, right away, did you know that it was the con for you?
No, I thought it was way too much. I was relieved to go to AWA and it be so much smaller because that was back when AWA was over at the now demolished airport hotel. So
okay.
going from DragonCon to something that had maybe a couple thousand people,
Yeah,
much better.
I was gonna say AWA, if I recall correctly, got pretty huge.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's cool.
And I think you started with AWA.
No, I started with MomoCon.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
My first
So you,
con was MomoCon 2006
Mhm.
when they were still at the Student Center
At Tech.
Yeah,
Yay.
and
a
free.
lot smaller.
A lot smaller.
There was like maybe a few hundred people,
Right. That's
and
cool to
like
start small.
a shoebox.
I vended at a couple of those smaller ones, and yeah, it was still fun, still unique.
Yeah.
So what drew you to DragonCon? Was it just the next step? You were ready to take it to the next level, or?
I think so, because I've been going to a lot of Momo. I've been doing Momo and AWA and a few other conventions, and I think me and one of my friends wanted to go to DragonCon because it was the big convention here.
And were you going specifically for cosplay? Were you going for panels? Were you going specifically for guests? You two?
I think we
what drew
came
you
just
there?
to cosplay because we dressed up as hobbits.
Okay.
The irony in
I
our
know.
story.
That's funny.
That's awesome. And Josh, what about you? What was your first DragonCon experience?
Well, actually, my first con was also DragonCon, and it was DragonCon 2013. And not to step on anybody's toes yet, but there is a connection with DragonCon 2013 with some people in this live stream right now, and I'll let them talk about it. But yeah, it actually happened completely. I don't want to say it wasn't an accident because I planned to go, but like Lauren, before my first DragonCon, I didn't know anything about conventions. I'd never been to one. I didn't even know what people did at these things. I kind of like seen them mentioned on TV and in movies, and I was like, okay, all right, cool. I'm like, I guess I got to make a costume. My friend who lived here in Atlanta at the time invited me, and so she's like, "You want to come?" I'm like, "Okay." And then I made my costume, and I showed up, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I think I get it now."
You felt the rush.
It was a pretty, yeah, literally. It was a really incredible experience, and something I want to share real quick, if I may. One of my favorite moments from that very first night, which was the Lord of the Rings evening at Bree. I was wearing my Thranduil costume, and I had just won the costume contest, Best in Show, and I was like in this like haze, and we were dancing around to the band that was playing Emerald. Lauren, help me. What was it called? Emerald Rose.
I think.
Yeah, no, it's Emerald Rose.
And they were playing, and we were dancing around, and this girl, she must have been, I don't know, 8 to 10 years old, just dressed as a hobbit, and she like danced in front of me, and she had heard it was my first DragonCon, and she stopped and she went, "Welcome home." And I will never forget that as long as I live. Like the best little moment ever, and I just carry that with me all the time because DragonCon is my home now. So there you go.
What year was that?
2013.
Okay.
2013. Wow. And Chrissy and Justin, what about you? What was your first DragonCon experience? When was that, and what drew you to the con?
So funny enough, 2013 was my first DragonCon as well. A big year for everybody, I think. I've been cosplaying since 2009 or so. So I had some friends that were going, so that was really exciting. It feels like home, and it felt like home from the jump. As soon as I went, I loved it. And I'll let him talk about his first DragonCon experience.
So mine was 2019. Got in right at the height before the pandemic, and then didn't get to go the next year.
Oh, wow.
So that was great. But it was phenomenal. I started cosplaying like 2016 and went to like Central Florida cons, and a lot of my friends went in 2018. I didn't go. And then I said 2019, I'm going. So I went up with them, and it was probably one of the best days ever. And the con was just better than anything that I'd ever been to before or since. So it's home. Exactly. That's Welcome Home Wednesday it means it.
Absolutely.
And I know Tyra mentioned this a little bit earlier about meeting a partner at DragonCon. The rest of you, when you, not necessarily your first year at con, but as you discovered DragonCon was your home, were you hoping that would be the place you met your partner?
Yeah,
because I can say my first year when I went in 2010, and I'm in San Antonio, Texas, so I went a couple of states over. I was determined to meet somebody, not necessarily the first year that I was there, but it was like this is the atmosphere that I'm going to find my partner at. And it just so happened I met my now husband my very first year on my very first night at DragonCon.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've been together since 2010, got married in 2020. He moved here 7 months after we met to Texas.
Wow.
And yeah, so was it similar for y'all? Were you looking to meet a partner, or was it a happy accident?
Yeah, I'm curious about that too, because when I asked about like all of you, like what drew you to DragonCon, none of you said like I want to find a mate. So I was kind of yeah, Tyra, we'll start with you again.
Well, in defense, I was 20 years old, and you know, when you're young, you're always looking for somebody. And I can't believe it took me 19 years longer than it did for you a little bit. That's just lovely. Shane and I met in 2009, and I was at a Celtic music concert at the Lord of the Rings one, the same one that Josh was talking about, but a different year. And I met him while a Celtic band was playing. So yeah, it does happen. And every year I kept thinking this would be the year, and 2009 was finally my year to meet him. So I was right. It was a Celtic music concert, and it was at DragonCon. It just had to be the intersection of the two. Little did I know. I could have shaved off a couple of years.
Had he been going to DragonCon all that time? You guys just missed each other, or was that his first experience as well? Or
he had been going to Emerald Rose shows, who headlined the Lord of the Rings concert, and he'd been going to DragonCon for a bunch of years, and he was on security. Actually had volunteered for several years, and we just missed each other. And looking back, I remember seeing him at an Emerald Rose concert like 3 weeks before DragonCon, thinking, oh, he's cute. But he was sitting next to some lady who was touching him a lot, and I thought, well, he must not be available. He was.
I love that even though it's in the past, I heard some animosity in your voice talking about the lady that was touching him.
I could have had him 3 weeks earlier. Instead, I had to Facebook friend him in the middle of a concert to get him so we'd stay connected. Because he was so cute. He was like, oh, I'll see you at the pirate party. And I'm looking at him going, with 40,000 other people. Is this you on Facebook? Let's connect. So, yeah, there's Tyra's meet cute of her dreams.
Lauren, what about you guys?
So we actually met because there was a big Facebook group of people who were cosplaying Loki for that year. And we both had a mutual friend, Kayla. That picture actually is the exact second we met.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
because Kayla said, oh, my other friend's doing Lady Loki. You guys should meet up. She's in the Marriott. You're in the Marriott. Go meet each other. And we waved and went up and said, hey, you must be Nikki. Oh, yeah, you must be Lauren. And then someone said, can I get your picture real quick? We said, oh, okay. And then turned back and started talking and got really close. And we started dating that following March, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Because it's almost our dating anniversary.
Yeah, it's almost our dating anniversary. Our first date was to the Georgia Ren Fair.
Aww.
Oh, that's a good first date.
It is.
Yeah, and we and then it was following we got engaged at Evening and Brie. DragonCon 2013, which is also where we met Josh.
Yes,
Which
we
is
got engaged.
yeah, we got engaged that same year at Evening and Bree. I was dressed as Smaug. She was dressed as Azog. I was extremely nervous. We were in the costume contest to surprise her because she said, I just want to be proposed to at DragonCon, so we're with all of our friends. And I said, okay, I'll figure something out. And I was so panicked and everything. And then when we wanted to get married, at the time we planned it, it wasn't legal. And we had some friends with DragonCon. They said, we have an empty panel room one night. Just come in the panel room with your family and friends, and you can have a wedding right here at DragonCon. So that is in the basement of the Hyatt. And that is Charles McFall of the digital media track actually marrying us.
That was awesome.
Charles is everywhere at DragonCon.
We got to have a nice legal wedding at Disney World. And
Tyra's having a time.
We just celebrated our 10-year wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
I was at
This
your
year's
engagement
one.
too.
Yeah, I never intended to find a partner at DragonCon, anything. I was just hoping to make friends because DragonCon is the, 80,000 friends you don't know yet. And made a ton of friends that year. Could not have told you in that moment that we would have gotten together, but we met up at AWA directly following that first meet to do another low-key photo shoot together, and I was like, gosh, she's just so beautiful. Fuck. And I was so anxious the whole time because she was just so pretty, and then eventually asked her out.
That's awesome. I seeing that picture, it's great that you have that picture of your first meeting, and I do wonder, with everybody taking photos at DragonCon over the years, like how many people have captured people's first meetings over the years, because I bet that happens a lot, and some people probably don't even know that there are pictures out there.
Yeah. The only picture we have from our engagement is with Josh, because we had just gotten engaged and we were partying with everyone. And we said, wow, that Thranduil is amazing, and got to talking with you and took a picture.
Oh my God, that feels like an eternity ago.
Tyra actually just posted in our thread that she thinks she has photos of your engagement.
I do. I know I do because I worked with Emerald Rose. So
oh my gosh,
I took pictures for them at conference. So I will do my best to try to find them. I was just scanning my phone, but I'll go through some drives I have and see if I can find them for you. Because I know I was there because I remember the nice, sweet lesbian couple getting engaged.
I imagine that would be hard to forget.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I
will endeavor to find them.
Thank you.
See, we're making all kind of DragonCon connections here. This is great.
Everything goes back to the dragon.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. Christy,
Josh, what about you, Josh? Oh, sorry.
Wait, who's going? You can go first. It's fine.
Go ahead, Christy. Just.
Sure. So we actually met at his first DragonCon, his first Welcome Home Wednesday. So
been like 2 hours. Could be in there.
We met through a mutual friend who said, oh, hey, it's his first DragonCon. Can you give him his newbie tour? And so I did. You want to talk about the newbie tour?
Sure. So first DragonCon, don't really know what to expect. As I said, I knew a couple of friends that went, but I didn't know all the lore. Or the cults. So I got introduced to the Marriott carpet that's still there, and then she took me downstairs where there was a guy selling pieces of Marriott carpet. So within my first 2 hours, I had a piece of Marriott carpet. And she showed me where Trashy used to live, and then took me over and bought me my first rum bucket. So it was a yeah, there you go. There's the rum buckets.
There's our friend Jules as Buffy and me as Drew, and then that's us as Creature and Kay. So it was amazing that we found each other there because we lived in two different parts of Florida. It would just so happen to live about 2 hours away from each other, but we met in Atlanta, so it was awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I sort of can understand that. There are people that I know quite well in the Atlanta area that I only see at DragonCon. So I would imagine, but yet there's some people that if I go to a convention in another state, I see them. They're from Atlanta, and I meet them, and I'm like, wow, why did we have to meet in another state? So I get that, but that's cool as well. That's cool as well.
Yes.
And last but certainly not least, Josh.
It's me. I just love that what Channing said about connections, that I have a connection to everybody in here as well in some way, because Jules is my very good friend from Florida, and I'm from Florida as well originally, but I've been in Atlanta for 10 years, and then Lauren and Nikki, I was at their engagement, and then Tyra, the Emerald Rose connection. Like, it's just, I love that so much. So I actually was attending DragonCon in 2013, like I said, my first one, for the first few years as a married person. So I was married for a long time, and I got divorced in 2022. And so after I got divorced, I am answering your question from before about the fact that, like, I had made up my mind that I wanted to meet my next, boyfriend and partner at a con, and hopefully DragonCon. Like, I did make it my mission that I was on the hunt. When I would go to DragonCon, I was like, where he at? And funnily enough, 2023, so I'd only been divorced. I hadn't even been divorced. Well, I've been divorced like just over a year, so it was still a little fresh. And I went to Spectrum, the queer party on Saturday night, and I was with my friend Sammy, and he kind of introduced me to some people on the dance floor. We were dancing, and up walks this guy dressed in very sexy Loki outfit, and he's like giving me the eye, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, okay, he's kind of cute. And it was my current boyfriend Chase, and that was when we met, very first time. Look how cute he is. I love him so much. And we connected that night, but like I said, I was like still super fresh out of a 19-year marriage and getting divorced. And then it took until 2025. He asked me out. Actually, we went on one date in 2024 that didn't actually go great, surprisingly enough. And then we reconnected in the beginning of 2025. So we've been now together just over a year, and we're madly in love. And those two pictures that you just saw were at last year's DragonCon, which was our very first DragonCon as a couple. And like, one of my favorite things ever about leading up to that convention, which was so unusual for me, was that he turned to me at one point, I don't know, middle of last year, and he goes, "What if we did Jessica Rabbit and Roger Rabbit for the Bunny Hutch?" And I was like, I don't know that I could fall more in love with you than I have just done in this moment. Like, it was so. See, he knows. We are. It's I mean, listen. It's wonderful and magical. And the reason I have my little plushie here is because it's like it's a little goofy, because Chase loves Goofy, and it kind of looks like him because they got little teepees. So this is my little Chase representation, since he's not on the call with me, even though he is watching right now. So that's how we met at DragonCon. Yeah, there you go.
Awesome. I almost all of you, I guess, are cosplayers, and that's not unusual. Certainly at DragonCon. But is it must be? Is it a new experience to cosplay with somebody? You come up with different ideas.
Not really for us.
For me, it is.
We've always done costumes like in big groups and everything. Like when I was a teenager, I was in a Naruto group of like 35 characters. So love doing cosplays in groups. And then when we got together, we started planning things specifically together or from franchises we liked. Like we've done Black Canary and Wonder Woman. We've done Fallout Housewives, Loki more times than we did Roz and Shay from Game of Thrones. We've done Salvador and Axton from Borderlands. So not always couples costumes, but always like from franchises we enjoy together.
So I don't cosplay. My husband's the cosplayer. And he really loves to cosplay. So he drugged me into Star Wars fandom. So now I love Star Wars anyway, but he drugs me into Star Wars cosplay. So we both have Jedi costumes. He plays Obi-Wan, and sooner or later I'll have a Satine one, which was Obi-Wan's.
Ooh.
We know
Nice.
we know what they were doing.
Absolutely.
So the whole
Wait, what were they
concept of-
doing?
There's plenty of
Josh,
fanfic, Josh.
Birds,
There's plenty of
bees. We'll
fanfic
talk
out there.
later.
Yes, yes. When a Jedi and an alien woman love each other.
You know, that Jedi code is stupid.
Just
More
as
like
if you fall in
guidelines.
love.
But he was actually
Yeah.
cosplaying when I met him. So, and had to move seats. And the only reason I met him was because of somebody cosplaying Marge Simpson with the big, tall blue hair. Because my husband is 6'4" and he is all trunk. So he is very, very tall and he could not see around her. This never happens. Like, this is probably the only time in his life he moved seats because he could not see. And he just happened to sit down next to me. So
It was meant to be.
I love
Nice.
cosplayers because of this. And if I could ever find that woman who played Marge, I will kiss her and tell her thank you.
Now, what if you could ever find the woman who was rubbing on him 3 weeks before you all started? What would you do to her?
I know who she is.
That sounded real ominous.
Yes. Apparently, she's already been dealt with.
Hold on, I gotta make a call real quick. Hello, police.
At least you said is and not was.
I think she's still alive. It's okay. He had to stop seeing two girls before he went out with me. So
For me,
Don't hate
the
the
big
player, hate the
difference,
game.
was I went
You
from
won the
making my
volleyball.
own
you go.
costumes to having to sew for a second person,
Mhm.
which learning how to sew for a completely different build was a big thing. And I didn't show mine earlier, but here's
Aw.
him. He worked security. He was on part of this security for con in
Security
2010
boys.
when we met. So he wore a vintage fireman's outfit, and
Oh.
that's when we met right there.
Aw.
And then the outfit on the right, that's from last year, because I now sew both of our clothes for costumes.
Aw.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is the DragonCon, if you want to meet someone, you should volunteer to work security. This is what I'm
Shane.
hearing at first, yeah.
Or Channing, or dress up as Loki.
Okay,
Yeah.
one of those two.
Because that does seem to be, his name has come up a lot.
Yeah, but that was from he was running security for the line to take photos with the cast of Firefly that I was in line for.
Aw.
We had met the night before, and I recognized his booming voice yelling at people to stand in a certain area, and then leaned over and saw him. So
Oh. Now,
That's so
I'm
sweet.
I'm curious, because we've got all the nerdy love in here. Are there any competing fandoms among our couple? So, like, do we have one of you as a Star Wars fan, the other one is diehard Star Trek?
that would
Is
be
somebody Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw? You know.
yeah. My husband is Star Wars. I like Star Wars. But,
I'm Sailor Moon. She's Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I'm more of a Trek girl. So
Well, I don't think we are competing fandoms. Like,
No, we like pretty much all the same stuff.
yeah, it happens to really work out. There's pictures of us as little kids, and I found it so crazy. I was Batman Returns Catwoman when I was like 4, and he was Batman
That was-
Returns Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Aw.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
You know.
My husband and
Yeah,
I
we
have
don't
the
have-
same ornament from 1977, the year he was born. I'm older than him, but we both have the same ornament. So the first time we combined all our Christmas stuff, I was like, wait a minute. Invisible strings.
Yeah.
Chase and I don't have any like friction in fandoms because we actually like a lot of similar things, but he is very passionate about Star Trek, and that's never one I've been into. So he's been very excitedly showing me some of the peak cinema. My recent one, I can't remember the name of it. It's one of the movies about the whales, and let me tell you,
it's the search for
that was an
Spock.
experience. That was an experience. That's also when I learned that Leonard Nimoy is caked up. I was like, oh, wow, okay, good for him. So yeah, that was the time. There was whales and William Shatner and time travel and
Caked up Spock.
caked up Spock. Yeah.
Caked up Spock. Okay, hey. There's a cosplay idea. There's your cosplay
Oh,
idea for
Voyage
next
Home.
year.
There you go. I said the Searcher Spock, but it's the Voyage Home. There we go.
Yes, it's the Voyage Home.
Yeah, Voyage Home. The whales saved the day, and they got those whales on that ship with the magical transport beam, and I was like, wow, okay.
So
They
you're
did that.
designing. So you're designing cosplay of Star Trek whales.
You know, I'm not. I'm gonna pass on that.
You could probably be.
The other one he showed me. What was the
You'd
other
be a
one?
good Vulcan, though.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Oh God, what was the other one? It was when.
There is a Klingon beauty contest.
Yes, there is.
Oh, it's
Here
the,
was the other one. I remember
the
the-
Star Trek Universe contest. There you go.
It was like they traveled back in time. There's a lot of time travel in Star Trek, and the inventor of some rocket ship had to meet the Vulcans.
Oh,
and,
that's
they had to-
First Contact.
Yeah, that's First Contact.
Yes,
First Contact.
that's the one. That's the one. So
And it
I've
had-
seen both of those, and
And it
they
has
were a
James
time.
Cromwell in it.
I actually love the whale one.
I do too.
Scotty was so awesome.
Yeah,
because
we can-
He
Scotty
was
is
very
awesome.
confused. Them going after the nuclear warheads, I think it was, in that
The
one.
nuclear
Yeah,
warheads.
it was.
Yeah.
He gets it. Okay.
Oh,
No competing
yeah.
fandoms.
Are you guys aware of other couples that have similar stories, or is there a significant couple representation there at DragonCon? You feel?
I think most of our friends that we know go to DragonCon have at least at some point had a partner that they met at DragonCon.
So it's funny. Josh was mentioning Jules. So Jules and I kind of swapped our meet cutes because Jules is the one that introduced he and I. And I also introduced, you saw the picture of her as Buffy. I introduced her to her partner, Austin. I said, Buffy, have you met Angel? Because he was cosplaying Angel. And they have been together for many years. So we do have another meet cute in that invisible web of strings that we have.
Right, we had a lot of responses when I put out the call for guests on the show. So I think throughout the years, I think we're well in the thousands of couples that have come together through con. In fact, we had somebody submit their story who unfortunately could not make it tonight. They gave us a little blurb, so I'll throw their pictures up while I read this real quick. This
Oh,
is
it's
from-
Keldar!
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yay!
this is from
Keldar.
Keldar. It was DragonCon 2005. And I was there with my 3 best friends. It was late Saturday night, and I was wearing my Princess Leia costume, and we were on the atrium level, people watching over the rails. I felt someone tug on my Leia braid behind me, and as I turned, a guy I vaguely knew from my 501st Garrison walks by, turned and smiled at me and asked if I knew where a mutual friend was. I knew that night, without even knowing his name yet, that I'd met the person I was going to marry. We got married in 2008, and we celebrate our meetiversary every Saturday at DragonCon, with our 20th being last year.
Wow.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they could share that.
Yeah. So that, yeah.
Also, I'd like to insert really quick, if I may. I'm just
Go
going to
ahead.
over. Like, if you don't follow Keldar on socials, you should. They are an incredible costumer, and they've just done so many things. Like, just beautiful work and just so many amazing costumes.
Yes, I'm glad that they submitted their story too to be included.
So oh, go ahead, Mike.
No, go ahead, Jim.
No, it's as we always say, DragonCon is really a community in and of itself. And going there, how important was it for you all to really find somebody that you knew lined up with your interests? Because some people say opposites attract, because I know my wife, she's not a huge nerd. I've kind of pulled her into Dragon Con a little bit. But for you all, how important was it to find somebody that really kind of lined up with your interest?
I think with us, it was an accident.
It was an accident. A happy accident, though.
It just kind of a like, oh, you like that too? And repeat that over and over for about a year.
Aw.
I mean, I'd say, yeah, similar for us too. That we just, when we met, neither of us were in costume at the time. It was Wednesday night. We were just wearing carpet. Well, I wasn't wearing carpet stuff yet. She was wearing the sweater. But like, and then as we were talking throughout the night, we realized we had so much in common. We like so many things. And all the time we learn that we have more things in common about each other. We've been together since 2019. So, and married since 2023, and we still learn that we like the same stuff. So I would say that's wasn't exactly looking for it, but when I met her, I knew that I was looking for it. So.
And for those of you who are listening and not watching, you should know they are very coordinated in their outfits. We've got a nice Marriott carpet theme going here. That's love right there, folks. That's love.
Yep. Shout out to Drunken Dragon.
Yeah.
Of course. Hey, Sven.
Yep.
Sven is a good friend of the show, so
Yes.
we all own multiple things from him.
Yes.
I realized we unintentionally coordinated because everyone calls us My Melody and Kuromi. And then my wardrobe is primarily pink and hers is primarily black.
Not the Glenda and Elphaba.
Oh, good one. Yeah.
I did need somebody who was in fandom and who would understand that part of my life, because obviously it had been an intricate part of who I was and what I did, and Celtic music mattered to me too. So to find him there was like, oh, we're gonna have lots of stuff in common, and we did. And then he also happened to love Disney, and he's just as much kid-like as I am. And I feel so lucky. Like, I've been almost in tears all night with all of your stories, because I think it's the thing about DragonCon that always makes me get kind of teary, is that it's family. It doesn't matter when it was 1988 and there were a couple of thousand of us to what we're at now, which we won't mention that number, Mr. Fire Marshal, but we're still connected in that same way, even though it's so much bigger, and it is like home. And to meet somebody who's at your home, and I knew on our first date too, I was one of those. I was like, I actually wrote it to a friend on Facebook. I said, I've met him finally. Took me 40 years, but I met him. So engaged 4 months later, married 7 months, 9. We were married in July after DragonCon. So
yeah, I lucked out in that I just needed somebody who could deal with my obsessive personality, and that me and every friend I have taken to DragonCon from here, because we have a big group we travel with, is we don't shut up about DragonCon throughout the year. And this is well before I ever became a part of this show. Like, we are constantly planning costumes, already discussing what events we want to go to 9 months or more ahead of time. Do we get any of that done on a timely fashion? No, I wait till 2 months before I start working on anything. But oh no, Josh, we know you start working on it earlier. I've seen all your progress. Your progress.
That's a lie. I was finishing this girl up behind me the night before, and Chase can attest to it. He came over to my apartment, and I was trying to literally finish the underskirt on this, and I was using a pleated fabric, and I just won't get all the details. It wasn't working, and I had to literally remake the entire skirt out of another fabric I had in my stash, because I was like, it's not working. But to answer the question, kind of like Tyra, I was definitely looking for someone. It mattered to me that I would meet someone who could, for lack of a better phrase, put up with me being the way that I am, like, and being into fandoms and being a giant kid. And I'm going to get a little heavy, so bear with me. But like I mentioned, I was in a relationship for 19 years before that. And like, my ex-husband was a lovely person. He was never like, no problems, other than the fact that he was just what I guess you consider a normie. So as I progressed in my journey from going to DragonCon and realizing that I was definitely not what you consider a normie, and that I was a DragonCon and a con and a cosplay person, and I wanted to express that nerdness and do all those things. Is when once we got divorced, I was like, well, I need someone else who can accept that and be okay with that. And I mean, I dated on the apps for a couple of years after my divorce, and I would meet these guys and it would seem fine, and they just didn't get it. You know, they were kind of like, huh? You know, like they would see and I would put my pictures on my profile of me in cosplay just to like get it out as fast as possible, because I wanted to weed out the weirdos, if you will,
Yeah.
that would be like, why are you dressing like a lady? And so I kind of felt like there was no hope for a little while there. And, meeting Chase in person at DragonCon, it's so cliche, I'm going to say, but it really was like a dream come true. And I'm so grateful for him and how much he just accepts me for who I am and loves all the same things I love. And it's just been the most amazing experience, falling in love with someone who is right there with you and gets all the things you get and wants to share that with you. So I just love being a part of this community now with someone who can share it with me. So
And
there you go.
I'll +1 that, because I've known you through both relationships, and this is genuinely the happiest I've ever seen you in the like 10+ years I've known you.
Yeah, Lauren and Nikki were there from the jump. They knew me when I was dating, or I was married to my ex, and they know what I went through, and so I appreciate that POV. That's very kind of you to say.
Yes,
and I love you.
So we have a viewer question. So obviously some of y'all have said you're into a lot of the same things, but for new stuff, which side of each couple tends to introduce their partner to new fandoms? So okay, let's have some examples.
I think
I mentioned the whales.
Yeah. Yeah, so we know Chase is introducing you.
I think I introduced Nikki to most stuff because 90% of my jobs involve me having to be chronically online. Like I worked for Second Life for a large number of years while we were together. So it's usually me going, hey, people are talking about this new show. I watched the first 2 episodes. I really like it. Watch it with me.
And I hardly watch TV.
Yeah. Nope.
And my main interests are Furbies and clowns. So
yeah. It was usually me going,
clowns.
everyone's screaming about
Whoa.
Severance. Let's watch it. Or making you download Overwatch so I have someone to play with, or OG Overwatch. Or getting you to play Borderlands with me, or I think I watched the first season of Letterkenny and then got you into it, and now you're really diehard into Shorzy. And so it's a lot of like, I'll get the whispers from the internet about something, check it out, and then we wind up enjoying it together.
The games I play by myself are like Hamtaro, Heartbreak.
I think with us, it's probably, I don't know, we have a lot of stuff in common, but when there is some things, it's not very many, but it's here and there, and I think it's pretty even between the two of us. I will say there's one movie that I remember showing you that I thought you were going to think this is the dumbest thing ever, because it is, but it's a movie called The Stupids with Tom Arnold, and if you've never seen it, it is the stupidest movie ever, but it makes me laugh. And I showed it to her and she cracked up. I was like, you're either going to absolutely love this or you're going to hate this and never trust anything that I try and show you again. But other than that, there's kind of just, it's short things here or there. Like, I don't think I'd ever watched The Lost Boys before, maybe once or something. And it was her favorite movie. And I loved it so much when I saw it. And it meant so much to me because it meant so much to her that we got engaged on the pier at Santa Cruz.
Aww.
So on the boardwalk. So it's, I don't know, it's a lot of the same stuff that we came in liking together, but every so often there's something that will show the other one, and I'd say it's pretty even.
I'm gaming a little bit more now, so that's been fun.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's on you. I love it.
That is on me. Yes, we did get a game called Goat Simulator 3, and it is absurd. There's so many references to like pop culture and stuff. And when I was playing it a little bit, she's like, "Oh, I really like this. This is very fun." So we were taking turns with the controller until I bought a second one. So, and then we could play it together. So that was very fun. But yes, gaming would be something that I would have introduced you to, even though I don't do it that much myself. But
Goat Simulator is good couples therapy. I'm
Yes.
gonna be honest. Yeah.
no health bar, just doing the most random stuff and just having
Yes.
fun, endless fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be doing some Googling after this.
Most of our gaming is you making me play and you watching. You going, I want to see this game. You play it.
In the new Katamari game. Like, I can't do this. Can you play it?
That's me.
All right, so Josh, you've had Chase introduce you to Star Trek. Have you introduced him to a new fandom he's enjoyed?
I don't think I have that much. No, it's mostly been him with the Star. He's really into Star Trek. But to
be fair, I think that's most Star Trek fans.
Yeah. I think I am slowly getting him into Star Wars because I really want him to dress as Krennic from Andor.
Yes. Oh my God.
That'd be great.
Yeah, like because I do my Mothma and I want him to be my Krennic, like not my Krennic, but my Krennic. But when I'm going to eventually get around to, because I have teased this with him, is I want him because like Lauren, I'm a Sailor Moon girly, and I really want to get him into Sailor Moon. So yeah, that would be one that's probably. So if you're watching Chase, get ready. It's about to be Metro Girl for this bitch.
He's probably still recovering from the whale comments.
Most likely.
We're gonna need an update this time next year to see how you're progressing with that.
He just shows up in like a full Sailor Moon cosplay. By the way, guys.
Or is it you and Sailor Moon and he's in Tuxedo Mask?
Tuxedo Mask.
Listen, you
That's what I
got
was
7
thinking.
months till DragonCon. You can do it.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, but I kind of want to see Chase as Melvin. I'm not gonna lie. I think he'd be so cute.
That would be actually perfect.
My story is a lot like Channing's, in which my significant other we don't really have the things in common that I feel about DragonCon, but it's never caused us any sort of separation anxiety or anything like that. But I do appreciate and I do feel this about DragonCon. It's not surprising to hear stories like yours, which I love, because I always love talking to people about DragonCon. And from the minute I first went to DragonCon, which was in '94, I knew that I knew I was home. I knew it was my tribe, and I look forward to it every year. And I've been there every year since, and I have made significant connections with people because of DragonCon. So even though, my partner Michelle is not one of those persons, there are so many people in my life that I am so thankful for because of DragonCon, that I can't imagine my life being without them. So I do appreciate the fact that I think that's what keeps us coming back. I mean, yes, there's great stuff, there's great entertainment, there's great things to do at DragonCon, but it's the people in the community, I think, that is the one thing about DragonCon that I think unites us all.
Well said.
Yeah, it's amazing how many like invisible strings end up connecting all of us at DragonCon, and that it just keeps growing. And I love the fact that when I'm at Dragon, I feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
just in
it
this
hasn't
group.
surprised me at all that even though some of you were associated and knew each other, that through talking, you guys realize you even have a lot more common and connections than you thought just because of DragonCon.
A
Yeah,
Venn
and
diagram for this group would look like a circle. It would just be just one big circle.
Yeah.
It would look like
true,
a
yeah.
whale, Channing. That's what it
Like
would
a
look like.
whale.
and to the whole that it feels like a family is like now we're parents. We have a 2-year-old. He just turned 2 in February, and he's still a little young to come to DragonCon because he also likes to take off running.
Yeah.
But we've both talked about we're so excited for the day that he can come because there's this entire like breadth of uncles and aunts and relatives that he has never met before but have heard all about him, and I can't wait for the day we get to introduce him to everyone.
Yeah, that's definitely a subject that is on our list of things to talk about because I'd love to talk to parents about the decisions you make of when and how to introduce your kids to DragonCon.
I have a crap immune system, so he'll come when he's a little older.
Oh,
Smaller
Yeah.
cons.
Yeah, he went to
Yeah.
MomoCon. He went to a convention in Florida.
He went to Gen Con.
He went to Gen Con. He loved Gen Con. He loves cosplayers, especially when they cosplay from things he likes.
Mm-hmm.
One of my former students brought her 3-month-old baby.
I would be too nervous.
Wow.
She came dressed as Yoda, baby Yoda,
Uh,
and she was adorable. And I stole the baby's fan for a track panel because we were burning up in the digital media track.
Yeah.
She's like,
He's cosplayed Georgie from It because we have a very large drain outside our house, so that was his Halloween was Georgie. He's also he's very obsessed with K-pop,
Yeah.
so he likes to dress as his favorite K-pop member. So he'll have a whole
Can you
bunch of-
live in the drain outside your house, though, Lauren? I want to make sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe
I was worried about the drain thing too.
So as we are winding down this month's episode of the show, do any of y'all, or would you please, offer up some advice for our viewers or listeners if they're still hoping to find the love of their life at DragonCon? Like, what are some tips or some advice that you could give people? Let's start with you, Josh.
Oh no! I wasn't ready. I did not expect that. I'm gonna probably say I think the thing everybody probably thought if I had to guess it's the don't give up. And honestly, I just thought of this now. This would probably be a very DragonCon thing to do. Like put it on a shirt, looking for love. I mean, honestly, that would probably work at DragonCon, or like hold up a sign. I don't know, but yeah, don't give up. There's so many people, and like we just talked about, we're all there, and we're passing through like ships in the night. We didn't even know it, and we're all connected. So yeah, just hang in there.
Christy and Justin.
So the bit of anti-advice I guess I'll give is it'll happen when you least expect. I'm going to share the elevator conversation. It was something I said in passing to our mutual friend Jules. I said, I'm going to die a single swamp witch. And
I heard she's single. That was early on in the night, and at the end of the night was our first kiss. So I don't know. My advice would just be yourself and have the fun that you would have regardless, because everyone is there to hang out, have a good time, meet new people, and you never know who you're going to meet. And just like we were saying earlier, we have a lot of stuff in common, and we still learn that we have stuff in common. And it's all because DragonCon. We first day, first elevator ride.
yeah,
she's single. Okay, all right.
I didn't mean it
Noted.
that way. But
She didn't. It took some convincing after DragonCon because she was
gonna die a single swamp witch,
yeah, she was pretty set on that. It took a couple weeks to get her to go out with me, but and now here we are, married. So
Yeah.
you never know. You never know.
You never
Justin,
know.
I gotta say, I'm impressed that the swamp witch part wasn't a deal breaker for you. That's guy logic right there.
See, I thought their conversation was going to be, you got to go down.
Yeah. I'm sure that was in there as well, but that's not the part I focused on.
And that's something you can only say at DragonCon. Otherwise, people are going to give you some weird looks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren and
the
Nikki.
elf just covering the whole thing of buttons.
I think with us, maybe the advice is somewhere, don't look for love at DragonCon. Look for love at the events you go to, the cosplay groups you want to go to, the parties you want to go to, because then you're finding someone who's already into something you're into and you have something to talk about.
And Tyra?
So besides leaving the house, because that's important, and I was looking
Unless
for
you're a
love at
Lannister.
DragonCon because some of us are a little neurodivergent and also introverted, even though we seem like an extrovert. And I didn't know, like, I would miss people flirting with me or being interested in me. So for me, I had to pay attention because otherwise it was going to go like this. And even when he was asking me out, it took 3 times. Like, I'm going to be up at the Dead Dog Party for security next weekend near your house. That's great. And 2 more times, I finally went, oh my God, he's asking me out. And I did not get it. So... And on the 3rd try, I said, want to meet for coffee? And I think he was like, finally, this woman. Oh, my Lord. So be aware of your surroundings. And that person might actually be looking at you because they want to talk to you. And they may be shy, too. So go talk to them.
And just in case anybody out there wants to maybe meet people beforehand, they can plan to meet in person. There are DragonCon singles groups on Facebook. There's also a very active DragonCon Reddit community. And of course, there's the DragonCon Discord. Don't necessarily get on there looking for people to hook up with, just meet people, get to talk to people, see if anybody's interesting. And if they are, you can plan up to, get some coffee in one morning at, or one time around noon if you sleep late, like a lot of con people do. While you're at con, the con community is there for you all year round. You don't have to wait till you're in person to make new connections.
Amen.
Nope.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, with that, again, thank you guys so much for sharing your stories. We're going to draw a close to this episode of the DragonCon Report. Big thanks to everybody here. Josh, we'll start with you. Thank you. Is there anything you want to promote or let people know about?
Sure. So I am going to be a guest at MMA Milwaukee. Oh, no. The bigger thing is that I am in a cosplay documentary called Alter Egos, and it is debuting on Amazon Prime Video on March 6th. So you can see me and Kamui Cosplay and Down and Creative and Yaya Han and a slew of other amazing cosplayers and listen to our stories and how cosplay changed our lives. So that's my big book.
Did that premiere at... Was there a sneak preview of that or something at DragonCon last year?
There was. We premiered it before it got picked up by Amazon 2 years ago. Actually, that was the year that I met Chase, funnily enough.
It's another circle.
It's another circle. We premiered that at DragonCon in 2023, and then it finally got picked up for distribution for streaming for Amazon Prime Video. So March 6th, it's debuting. I'm so excited. So watch it.
That is awesome. That is definitely going in my queue. That's going on my watch list for sure. Justin and Christy, thank you. Is there anything you guys want to promote?
I don't really have anything to promote, but
do you have like cosplay pages or anything?
Sure.
I'm at Kitty Solo on or at Kitty Solo Cosplay on Instagram. I'm pretty active on there.
I'm Turbo Time Cosplay on Instagram. I guess this year is my 10-year cosplay-versary, I guess. I started cosplaying in 2016, and this year I'm doing a dream cosplay of mine that I've had since then, which is Arnold Schwarzenegger Mr. Freeze at DragonCon. So it's going to be really cool.
Oh, yeah, Justin, I follow you. Holy crap. When you said your cosplay name, I was like, wait a minute, I know that guy. I follow you on Instagram.
Hell yeah.
We can all relate to Mr. Freeze this time of year in some way. Nikki and Lauren, thank you.
Probably the big thing for us to promote would be we have a coffee company that is all geeky themed coffee called The Roasted Crow.
Wow.
Our website is just theroastedcrow.coffee. We actually just dropped Skyrim flavors of coffee and tea with like a double caffeinated coffee called You're Finally Awake. But we really love what we're doing with the coffee company and making up crazy geeky fandom blends and everything and doing little events all around Georgia. So our socials are at The Roasted Crow. We're always promoting what events we're doing, where we're going to be.
Do you ship?
Yes, we ship all over the continental U.S. Pretty much anywhere that I don't get bopped with tariffs. But we are a small indie brand. We do small batch, so everything is really flavorful, really delicious. And I think our next event is the Mead and Metal event at Viking Alchemist Meadery in April.
Okay.
Awesome. And Tyra.
I just pulled up their page.
I know they're gonna get at least two of us are gonna be ordering some coffee.
and for those watching and listening, we'll have links in our show notes for all these.
Yes.
I do a podcast called Be Awesome Together. We stream live on Twitch and Facebook with Charles McFall of the Digital Media Track. And I run a lot of the social for the Digital Media Track when I have time, and I've been really slack. But please check out the Digital Media Track because we are accepting stuff. And I have a show called Geek Meet Social, and you can find out about all of this at tyraburton.com or linktree/tyraburton.
Awesome. Well, big shout out to you guys, and a shout out, lots of love to our station crew. Channing, thank you once again.
Always a pleasure.
And where can people find you?
I am on most platforms. It's just Channing Sherman. You can find me on Instagram, the Twitter. I'll take that back. On Blue Sky. I'm also on TikTok, but you will never see me dancing unless there's a involved. So yeah, you can find me there. I just did a new episode of my previously dead podcast, The Smarty Art Brothers. So you're welcome to go and have a listen to that one. Got a few more in the can that I'm working on now. And you can always follow my group, the Black Geeks of DragonCon, on our Facebook page, just Black Geeks of DragonCon. It is not a protest, it is a party. And we're all about love there too.
Nice.
So cute.
And thank you, Jen, for working your magic on both sides of the webcam. And you're even one of the topic of this discussion.
Yeah, I was not. Just want to point out, I don't make the art for the show, so I did not know that Mike was going to put me and my husband in the center. But it's very cute. Folks can find me most places online at Little Bit Odd. That's LILBITODD. I am most active on Instagram. I post my costuming there, but I'm also a part of the tiki communities. So we've been, me and my husband have been building a home tiki bar for the past 2 years. So a lot of my photos have been about our construction of that. But we took all the stuff we've learned from cosplay and basically building a gigantic set. Tiki set in our house. You can also find me on Facebook at the DragonCon Parties Meetups and More group. I am the creator and the maid of men of that. I think we're up to 20,000 members now. It's wild. And I am part of a newish podcast. We're actually recording our 3rd episode tomorrow, also with Mike Gordon, involving tiki. It's called 3 Grog Night because we love puns. So if you're into tiki, check that out.
Always intend the pun. That's what I say. And the tiki as well. We try to cover all we can with these episodes, but to keep up with the latest news, please check out the official DragonCon website and all the Facebook, Instagram, and Discord for the fan tracks. They're all active. And as we mentioned, they are taking suggestions now. Most of them are trying to get ready for the show. We are a proud member of the ESO network. On the ESOnetwork.com page, there's a direct link to our TeePublic store filled with all kinds of cool swag, including a very cool design for the DragonCon Report podcast. The ESO Network also has a patron page. Thank you, patrons, for all your support. Whether you're watching or listening to us, please help support our show. Like, subscribe, comment, share. If you would like to leave us direct feedback, please contact us at feedback@dragonconreport.com. Thanks to everyone for joining us. I'm your host, Mike Gordon. And as always, it has been my pleasure. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you at the con.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in for
Bye.
another episode of the DragonCon Report. Whether you're a longtime fan or joined us for the first time, we hope you've gained some valuable insights and tips to make your DragonCon experience unforgettable. Don't forget to stay connected for more updates and future episodes. Until next time, keep learning, keep planning, and keep the con spirit alive.